All right, ready to dive in. Today we're tackling mountain ranges.
Those breathtaking giants, yeah.
Exactly. You've given me some amazing sources this time. We've got those YouTube videos.
Oh, those are incredible visually.
So stunning, right? Plus, we've got this website article really digging deep into what makes each range unique.
More than just, listing the tallest peaks.
Totally. We're talking stories, impact, why we care about mountains. But hold on. Before we scale these metaphorical peaks, how do these massive things even form?
Okay. So imagine the Earth's crust, right? It's like a giant puzzle.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
But the pieces are always moving. When two continental plates, those puzzle pieces, slam together,
Oh, they gotta go somewhere.
up they go,
Yeah.
creating these huge folds, these massive thrusts, like we see in the Himalayas.
The Himalayas, home to Everest, that monster peak. 29,035 feet, if I remember correctly.
That's the one. And get this, the Himalayas, they're like giant icy reservoirs. They actually hold the third largest amount of frozen water on Earth.
No way. Seriously.
Only the Arctic and Antarctic have more ice and snow. It's wild.
Wow, that really puts their size in perspective. So, slow collisions aside, what else is going on?
Volcanoes? Gotta love a good eruption. Molten rock erupts, cools, hardens. Boom, volcanic mountains.
Like Hawaii, right.
Classic example.
Okay, back to the Himalayas for a sec. Tallest peak? Sure, but what else is special about them?
They're deeply woven into the spiritual beliefs of the region, Considered sacred, home to temples and monasteries. It's a place of pilgrimage.
It's amazing how life adapts to those harsh environments.
Right.
Like the snow leopard, can you imagine?
Perfectly adapted, high-altitude, rocky terrain, and a master of camouflage.
Incredible. And speaking of the Himalayas, who could forget Sir Edmund Hillary, that 1953 Everest climb?
Still inspiring people today, that one.
Absolutely. From the highest peaks, let's head south to the Andes, longest continental range, right? Running the entire length of South America's west side.
You got it. And what's amazing about the Andes is the diversity. You can go from glaciers to deserts, all in the same range.
It's mind-blowing. And don't forget the food connection. Potatoes, maize. Those staples started in the Andes.
Shaped global diets, no doubt. And let's talk about vicuña wool.
Oh, yeah.
Super soft, comes from a relative of the llama. They adapted to those Andean conditions, gave us this incredible wool.
Wow, the Andes are full of surprises. And we can't forget the Andean condor soaring up there.
Largest flying bird.
To survive in that mountain air, they've adapted to ride those thermals for hours, ready for a change of scenery.
Let's do it.
How about the Alps? Europe's calling.
Picture this. Charming villages, crystal clear lakes, those snowy peaks, and of course the skiing, the hiking.
Those lakes like Como and Geneva, they were carved out by glaciers?
Over thousands of years. The power of ice shaping the land. Now, the Alps may not be as high as the Himalayas, but they still got some impressive peaks. Mont Blanc, the highest, clocks in at 15,771 feet.
Pretty impressive. From Europe, let's hop back to North America. The Rockies are waiting.
The Rockies are huge, stretching from Canada all the way down to New Mexico.
Yeah.
And the biodiversity. It's incredible. Dense forests with bears, wolves, elk. Then you've got those high-altitude grasslands where bighorn sheep are just scaling those rocky slopes.
The variety is just astounding.
And don't forget the human history, the gold rush, all those prospectors. That era really shaped the Rockies. From iconic peaks to, well, sometimes overlooked ranges. How about the Great Dividing Range in Australia?
It may not be the tallest, but it runs the entire length of Australia's east coast.
The defining feature, you could say. And again, the variety. From rainforests to snowy peaks, it's like a little slice of all of Australia's environments.
So much packed into one range. And we've just scratched the surface, haven't we? There are so many more mountain ranges out there.
The Urals, dividing Europe and Asia. The Appalachians in eastern North America. The Atlas Mountains in Africa. The Kunlun Shan in China. The Hindu Kush, spanning Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Tian Shan in Central Asia.
Wow, each with its own story.
Each one impacting its environment, the people living there.
It's like we've only just begun our exploration. But before we get lost in their vastness, let's talk about why mountains matter.
Not just pretty landscapes, right?
Exactly. So much more to it. They're vital to our planet's systems, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Starting with water. Mountains are like water towers, storing snow and ice, which melts and feeds the rivers.
Supporting communities, ecosystems.
Exactly. It's the source of life for so much of the planet. And they don't just impact water, weather too.
Oh, right.
Imagine moist air forced up and over a mountain. It cools, condenses, releases moisture on one side. The other side, in the rain shadow, gets way less precipitation.
Like the Andes. Rainforest on one side, desert on the other.
Exactly. Mountains are climate makers, shaping everything around them. And we can't forget biodiversity.
We've talked about the snow leopard, the vicuña, but what makes mountains such biodiversity hotspots?
It's the isolation. Really, the different elevations, the microclimates,
Yeah.
they create these unique habitats. Species evolve in isolation, adapting to very specific conditions. That's why we see such incredible diversity in mountains.
So we need to protect them, right? But they're facing some serious challenges. The melting glaciers, that's a big one.
Major concern, not just for rising sea levels, but for the people who rely on those glaciers for water.
Glaciers are like natural reservoirs, slowly releasing water as they shrink.
It messes up the flow of rivers,
Yeah.
impacts agriculture, hydropower, drinking water for so many people.
And it's not just water scarcity, more extreme weather, too.
Flash floods, landslides.
It's all connected. And then there's the impact on biodiversity.
Temperatures rise, species have to move higher to find suitable habitats.
There's only so much room.
Exactly. Some species are literally being pushed out of existence. Snow leopards, mountain gorillas, Andean condors. Their populations are declining.
And it's not just climate change, right? Deforestation, mining, unsustainable tourism.
Humans putting a lot of pressure on those ecosystems. Habitat loss, soil erosion, pollution.
It's a lot to think about. Is there any hope for these regions?
It's complex, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think there's reason for optimism. More and more people are realizing how important mountain ecosystems are.
They're starting to get the attention they deserve.
Exactly. And people are pushing for sustainable practices. There are groups working to protect mountain habitats, promote responsible tourism, address climate change.
That's good to hear. What about our listeners? What can they do?
Plenty. Supporting organizations working in mountain conservation, choosing eco-friendly travel options, and speaking up. Advocating for policies that tackle climate change and promote sustainable development.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play. We can't just admire mountains from afar. We need to be active in protecting them. What stood out to you so far? What's sparking your curiosity about these natural wonders? Hold on to those thoughts because in the next part of our depth dive, we're going to explore the cultural significance of mountains, how they've shaped human history. It's going to be a fascinating climb.
Welcome back.
We're diving right back into those mountain ranges.
Before we took a break, we were talking about how crucial they are for the planet.
And the threats they face.
Right, climate change, human impacts. But now I think it's time for a different perspective.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Let's talk about the cultural side of mountains.
There's significance, there's stories.
For millennia, mountains have been these special places in human history, you know?
Sacred spaces, myths.
Exactly. Sources of legends, places of pilgrimage, places to connect with something bigger than yourself.
The Himalayas are a perfect example. And Hinduism and Buddhism, they're not just where gods and goddesses live.
It's a spiritual journey too, right?
A path to enlightenment.
Climbing a mountain becomes a metaphor. Overcoming challenges, seeking knowledge.
It's a powerful image.
And this reverence for mountains isn't just limited to the Himalayas.
So many cultures around the world have deep connections to their local ranges.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Native American tribes in the Rockies.
Their traditions, their stories.
All intertwined with the landscape.
They see those mountains as a source of life, a source of spiritual power.
And think about the Andes.
The Inca civilization.
Thriving in those high altitudes, building amazing cities, temples. They really adapted to those harsh conditions.
It's incredible, not just surviving, but thriving.
A testament to human resilience, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And these connections, they're not just ancient history either, are they?
Even today, mountains inspire artists, writers, musicians.
Adventurers, explorers.
They represent something awe-inspiring, a challenge to be conquered. They're just so beautiful.
Those classic paintings of the Alps, the adventure stories set in the Himalayas, mountains really capture our imaginations.
There's a mystery to them, a grandeur that draws us in.
Speaking of drawing us in, how have mountains shaped, well, the world? Geopolitically, I mean.
Mountains as borders, as barriers.
Like the Himalayas separating India and China.
Exactly. They've always been these natural boundaries.
Influencing trade routes, migration.
Even the rise and fall of empires. Isolation on one hand, strategic strongholds on the other.
Oh, those fortresses in the Alps, the ancient Silk Road through the Hindu Kush.
Mountains have played such a huge role in history.
And even today, they influence politics.
Absolutely. Control of mountain passes, resources, it can lead to conflict, to cooperation.
It's a reminder that these seemingly unmoving landscapes are actually part of this ever-changing human story.
Always evolving.
So I think it's time to face the music, wouldn't you say?
Time to talk about the challenges facing mountains today.
We've touched on them, but let's really dig in.
Okay, let's do it.
The melting glaciers. That's a huge issue.
Not just for sea levels, but for the communities that depend on that water.
Those glaciers are like natural reservoirs, right?
Exactly. Releasing water gradually. As they shrink, it disrupts the rivers.
Impacts agriculture, drinking water.
Millions of people
And
affected.
it's not just the lack of water.
More extreme weather, too.
Flash floods,
The
landslides.
balance is being disrupted.
And the consequences are felt far beyond the mountains themselves.
That's a thing.
Biodiversity is taking a hit too, isn't it?
As temperatures rise, species have to move higher to find suitable habitat. But there's only so much room at the top.
Some species are losing their homes.
Exactly. Snow leopards, mountain gorillas, Andean condors.
They're being pushed out.
And it's not just climate change.
Deforestation, mining, unsustainable tourism,
Putting so much pressure on these fragile ecosystems.
habitat loss, erosion, pollution.
That's a lot.
It paints a pretty grim picture. Is there any hope for these mountain regions?
It's a tough question, but I do think there's hope. There's this growing awareness of how important these ecosystems are.
People are starting to pay attention.
Right. And they're pushing for change. Sustainable practices.
That's good.
There are organizations working to protect habitats, promote responsible tourism.
Addressing climate change.
It's happening.
That's encouraging. So what can our listeners do? What actions can they take?
There are lots of ways to get involved.
Right.
Supporting those organizations working in mountain conservation,
Donating, volunteering,
choosing eco-friendly travel options when visiting mountain regions,
making conscious choices.
and most importantly, speaking up. Advocating for policies that tackle climate change and promote sustainable development.
We can all make a difference.
Absolutely. Every action counts.
It's a reminder that we can't just be passive observers. We have to actively protect these incredible landscapes.
They need our help.
Ready to move on to the final part of our mountain deep dive. And we're back, ready for the final stretch of our mountain journey.
From their formation to the challenges they face, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We really have. But as we wrap up, one question keeps coming back to me.
Oh, what's that?
What is it about mountains that draws us in? Why are we so captivated by these landscapes?
It's a question that's been around for ages, hasn't it?
It really has. There's something about their sheer size, their grandeur, that just evokes this sense of awe.
A humbling experience.
You feel so small standing before something so ancient, so enduring.
Right. They represent a connection to something primal, something bigger than ourselves.
A reminder of the Earth's power, its beauty.
And beyond their physical presence, mountains also symbolize challenge, resilience. This yearning for something more, something that transcends our everyday lives.
All those stories we tell about mountains. Adventure, exploration, overcoming obstacles.
Myths, expeditions, real-life daring feats. Mountains have been the backdrop for some of humanity's most incredible stories.
They test our limits, physically and mentally.
Absolutely. And even for those of us who may never climb Everest or trek through the Himalayas, mountains offer something else.
A sense of escape, a chance to renew.
That's a good way to put it.
They're a sanctuary from the noise, the demands of modern life.
A place to reconnect with nature, find peace, find solitude.
I also think there's something about the perspective you get when you're in the mountains.
Oh, definitely.
Looking out at the world from that higher vantage point, it can really shift how you see things.
Literally and figuratively.
You realize that your problems, your worries, they're not so big in the grand scheme of things.
Mountains have a way of putting things in perspective, don't they?
They really do. So, as we come to the end of our mountain deep dive, what's the key message we want our listeners to take away?
I think it's this. Mountains are so much more than just stunning scenery, more than just imposing rock formations.
They're part of the Earth's delicate system, sources of life, sources of inspiration.
Keepers of countless stories.
And as we've discussed, they're facing serious challenges.
It's up to all of us to recognize their value, protect them.
Safeguard those fragile ecosystems, ensure future generations can experience their wonder.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So next time you see a photo of a mountain, don't just see the peak. Think about the forces that shaped it, the life it supports, the stories it holds.
Take a moment to appreciate their power, their beauty.
Happy exploring, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on this mountain adventure. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.